Stress accumulates in the body. We're still cave women. We are not supposed to be eating 6 times a day, no matter what people tell you. You'll eat every 3 hours. But why? Physiologically, we're still cave women. We didn't do that then, and we were shredded. We had bodies to die for as cave women. Did you see cave women and men? What? We looked incredible. We were happy. We had no ailments. We had no health problems. There was no incidence of cancer. Fibromyalgia, what was that? Type 2 diabetes? No. No matter how much honey and how much berries you were able to gather. No diabetes. They ate when food was there, and they ate big portions when it was there, and when it wasn't there, they didn't eat. And we're still those very people. Physiologically, we're still exactly the same. Although we're sat at a desk, we've got different stresses, we've got bills coming through the door, we've got wars going on in the world, we've got, what do you call it? What do you call it again? I can't remember. It's gone. We've got stresses of being stuck in an office with people that we're not really too keen on, but they're there. They're like 2 feet away from us. And she's moaning, and he's moaning, and she's got bad energy, and he needs to get a shower. And there's just loads going on. Corporate stresses. We're carrying the burdens. You're being squeezed and pulled in all different directions. You're trying to do the job of 3, and you're just one person. You're being asked to do overtime and night shifts, and sometimes there's no the staff, so you have to feel like you have to help out, but actually you're running on empty, man, that you've not got it in you, but yet you show up. And so there's all these different stresses. Your children, maybe one of your children have ADHD, maybe there's stuff going on at school, all that stuff. But stress absolutely does accumulate in the body, and if you do not extract it and deal with it, it doesn't just cause belly fat because of the elevated cortisol levels. People that are stressed quite often are very slim to the eye, but have this layer of body fat that they cannot shift no matter what they do. Well, they cannot shift it until they meet me. I know that for a fact, because I've been told so many times, I wasn't able to get rid of my belly before I met you. And I've tried everything. That's your words. You tell me that. And there's a reason for that. It's not just about magic, well, it is my magic dust, but there's a reason for that. So when we deal with the stress, you identify with your own stress. You might be living in a stress state right now. You might be high stress levels all of the time, but you're not even aware of it until we have this conversation. So in your high stress state, your blood pressure might be high, you are agitated, you're irritable, you're snappy, you're short-tempered, maybe your sleep is disturbed, maybe you don't sleep well at all, maybe you're a grumpy bugger, maybe you've got what seems like a bit of a bipolar thing going on, but actually it's not, it's just your moods, they're up and down, you don't know where you're at. All of these stress type symptoms, maybe you've got bad skin, but you've definitely quite often got this cortisol belly, and that's what it is. And it's high cortisol levels, leading to your physiological survival mode of let's protect these vital organs round this belly, and let's shut down reproduction. So if you're trying to conceive, trying to fall pregnant and start a family, and you're finding it really, really difficult, pay attention. A lot of times, clients of mine say, Shelley, I've been trying for years to have a baby. It just so happens I've started working with you, and lo and behold, I'm pregnant. It happens a lot. I'm not going to say it's going to happen for you, but it happens a lot. And I know it's because it's a holistic approach, but this is a big thing too. So reproduction slows down, digestion slows down, everything that's not necessary for your survival at that moment in time slows down. But the belly fat gather speeds up to protect your vital organs. And that might be you. I don't want you to live in stress states. Stress is a killer, it kills people. It makes people have a horrendous life. My mum lived in a stress state for years in my life. In fact, yeah, right until I went to uni. I went to uni when I was 17. So I was able to see it. I've identified with it myself. I get it. And if that's you, you could change at any point. One is you start becoming aware of it. Two, you know that you can extract it from your body. A lot of the time you need to move. So motion leads to positive emotion. You know that. No matter how shit you feel, how bad something is, you maybe had a death in the family, maybe something terrible is going on, you're having a break, like a relationship breakup. You must move. You must do your 10,000 steps minimum. In fact, if you're going through something like that, let's knock the 10,000 steps out of the park and just walk. Keep walking. If you're doing it with somebody, fine. If not, get out there on your own and maybe even listen to some music. If it's obviously dark, one earphone, not two. Earphone, I'm showing my age. So, stress. Definitely. It can either make or break you. And most of the time it's breaking people. So let's spin it and let's switch it and let's care for you and love you like you need to be loved. Okay? More often than not, you will be stressed. We've all got stresses, but we'll have to gain perspective. Just been speaking about that to somebody there. Gain perspective and prioritise where you need to be putting your time. And your time has to be put into you first. Okay, first thing. Second thing is deficiencies. I just want to cover vitamin B12 because it's really common, especially nowadays, it's becoming more common. Vitamin B12 is essential. You must get it from your diet. And it really does assist in the foundation of red blood cell production, white blood cell production in myelin, the myelin sheath that wraps round, if you like, your nervous system. And if you can't make myelin, myelin is the connective tissue or the electric transporter, if you like, between nerves. So if you've got a myelin problem, then you've probably got pain or some sort of neuropathy, some sort of tingling or burning or numbness in your peripherals, like your feet, your fingers, maybe even your face. But there's a whole list of symptoms that I'm going to run through just now. And I want you to really concentrate on, does this sound like me? Because it's hugely common. And there's a reason for it. And it's a really, really easy fix. So let me just run through some of the symptoms. No energy and fatigue. Burning of hands and feet. It's maybe not just burning, it might be tingling or numbness. On the face, fingers and toes, for example. What about poor memory or poor thinking, slow cognition? That could be me sometimes, couldn't it? Let's be honest. But that's not just because you've got so much going on in your head. That's just because sometimes you're just like, I can't think. Like, what's happening to me? It feels like brain fog. Now, when you get really good fats in, like we are, and you have MCTs, for example, in your diet, that's great brain food. Or omega-3s, cod liver oil or something. That's amazing for the brain. But sometimes when you're deficient, it slows brain function down. And vitamin B12 does exactly that, with vitamin B12 deficiency. Nerve pain. So if you're sore, it's maybe been diagnosed as fibromyalgia. I don't know about you, but I have lost faith in a lot of what we're told without going too far into it. So this is why I'm asking you to get really curious about your health. If you've got a health problem or a health issue, let's study the shit out of it. Let's listen to me, fine. Let's listen to other people. Let's listen to what your doctor's got to say. But let's get opinions and let's actually, you do your own research and you take leadership. You take control of your own health problem instead of putting it in the hands of your doctor solely. That's fine if it's all working and it's whatever, but if things aren't quite working like they should be, you still feel like shit, well, let's get to the bottom of it and we're here to help you with that. A smooth or a swollen tongue or both, that could be indicative of a B12 deficiency. Smooth, really smooth, shiny, or swollen tongue. Maybe you feel like your tongue's too big for your mouth. What about tetany? What about ringing in the ears? Just see if this is you. Go and say, yes, it's me, so far. Irritability, that could be anything as well, but remember it's a collective. Quick-tempered, fast response, but it's not really a nice response a lot of the time. Balance problems, or problems with your gait, or maybe all of a sudden, or maybe it's been a gradual thing, you're walking differently, and somebody says to you, are you walking? Okay, that could be an indication. Depression, or bouts of depression. Now, I also think that before there's a diagnosis of depression, I think there's lots and lots of lab work to be done before that, because a B12 deficiency can cause feelings of depression, but it's not really clinical depression. And I'm not saying that's you, I'm just saying to be mindful of this. It could be a whole host of things. Vitamin D3, vitamin D deficiency. There's loads of stuff. And we'll cover a lot of it, but there's still things that you need to discover about yourself before you take somebody's word as gospel, I believe. I do. You might be pale, white skin, that looks like me right now, but that's the light, I promise. You might have anemia, and anemia might come and it might go. So, what is the main thing that causes vitamin B12 deficiency? It's generally not what you're bringing into your body through diet, because if you're eating the way we're eating, you definitely got it nailed. But it might be low stomach acid. Now, your stomach acid has to be between a pH of 1 and 3. It's like battery acid. But because of the way we live, and all the refined carbohydrates and sugars and alcohols and all this shit that we eat, we damage our intestines, we damage our stomachs, and an offshoot of that is low stomach acid. We don't eat properly. But the one thing that will help stomach acid and make you more acidic is apple cider vinegar. Now, I know that some of the strengths out there are weak because we've took them, and I've advocated them because that's the best that there is on the market. However, I commissioned my own, 100% filler free, 100% active. There are absolutely no nasties in this, but it's the acetic acid in the apple cider vinegar that is the beneficial part of apple cider vinegar, and it's in here. You've got it, and you've got it in high dose. It's not weak. So is it going to help you fix a vitamin B12 deficiency? Absolutely, all over it. There's also ginger root in here, and I want to just draw your attention to the benefits of ginger root. Sometimes you like a wee visual. Let's move this one up. Oops. So I created a blend. I never just brought apple cider vinegar to the market. I thought, no, we're going to get as much, because I've got a range. I've got 4 different supplements, and it covers all of the pains and all of the health situations and conditions that my clients have faced, and helps them with it all. Now remember, I've gathered this information over 20 years. I know what your pains are. I know what you're facing as a female. Late 30s, mid 40s, mid 50s, 60, 67. I know that because you've told me and I've worked with you closely enough to get it. Anyway, helps relieve digestive issues, speeds up your metabolism, helps speed up your metabolism in conjunction with our meal plans, our movement sessions, our mindset. You have to have the mindset before you can do anything. Helps with toothache, fights colds and flu, which you'll probably know. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, promotes detoxification, improves blood circulation, lowers blood pressure, and relieves menstrual cramps. Helps protect against cancer. That's ginger root, and it is in here. And I'm so proud of it. In fact, we've got a QR code here. Scan the QR code, takes you straight through into Felix B's website, of which I'm over the moon with. But the supplement itself is fantastic. So if that sounds like you need to get onto the shop on Felix B and go get yourself some. It's called Activate. because it activates your digestive enzymes that you need for good digestion, but also a healthy pH. There's also MCTs in here, medium chain triglycerides, the brain food that I've just been talking about, the good fats, the fats that are good for your health, increased energy, bypasses digestion, readily available, energy source. It's everything that you get from your meal plan with added extras, basically, MCTs. Antimicrobial properties, so it's great for gut health, promotes weight loss, and it's very, very good for brain health. MCTs. Apple cider vinegar with the mother, ginger root and MCTs. 20 milligrams of ginger root, brilliant. 64 milligrams of MCT, 500 milligrams per capsule of acetic acid. Fantastic. If that sounds like you, go get it. However, if you have stomach ulcers or something similar, I would not suggest taking apple cider vinegar. It might aggravate the condition. I also want to talk to you very briefly about fasting again. Now, fasting is one of the best health strategies for minimising and spraying water on a fire of inflammation. People think it's about weight loss. It's not about weight loss. I don't bring fasting into Feel Look B for the weight loss benefits. I bring fasting into Feel Look B for the health benefits. It's phenomenal. It will help your metabolism speed up. When you add in high intensity interval training that we're going to be doing, and regardless if you've got a shoulder injury or a knee injury, we'll work around it, don't worry. But I'm going to make you sweat. And when you do that, your brain releases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, your growth hormone spikes, but we're taking care of the insulin. We're taking care of the actual problem. So we're minimising the problems, we're ramping up all the good stuff, and in between we've got autophagy, your body's natural recycling system, clearing up misfolded proteins, DNA, bacterial cells, collecting it all in a wee garbage tank and going, we'll remould you into good resynthesised DNA. There's a misfolded protein, let's make new proteins. And it becomes so anti-aging, it's incredible, it's called autophagy. Please research it for yourself. It's anti-carcinogenic. It helps people with cancer. You probably know this anyway. Minimise sugar, get sugar to a minimum, get lots of good foods in, MCTs, higher fat, and let your body do its job. Don't eat, let your body clean up all the crap. Slow the tumour growth down. So that's a wee bit more on fasting. I hope that's, because I've seen a few questions coming into the team. Fortunately, I get eyes on every single question that comes in. Look, see? Hold on. No, can't see it for the light. Every single question that comes in, I've got my eyes on it first. Then the team, they go through the process of, right, what do you speak to Shelley about this? And I go, yeah, I've seen it. Let's talk about it. And then they come back to you. The team are phenomenal, aren't they? Leslie, Jill, Mary and Megan, yous are amazing human beings. I love you. All of our team here, all of our clients absolutely love you. You take the best care of us. You take care of me and you take care of everybody else. And that's really rare. People just do their jobs, don't they? Nah, not this lot. They lead with their heart as well. And, you know, it's the only way really, isn't it? So, there's loads in that wee live. The best time of day to take this vitamin? Mid-morning, Millie, that would be great. I would try not to take anything late at night unless it's a magnesium, and I've got a magnesium. So I've got ashwagandha meets magnesium. It's an amazing blend, but it helps you sleep magnesium citrate, which is the higher quality, so you get a restful sleep, and so that's the only thing that I would tell you to take at night. So no later than sort of 5-6 o'clock, stop, I would suggest, unless you found a way that works better for you. The human body is a phenomenal thing, but it's different for every single one of us. So whilst I might say that to you, Millie, that might not suit you. You might try it and you might think, well, it doesn't, because that's my tea time, that's my evening meal time, and then I'm going to wait a train, so that's not going to work. So listen to your body, and pay close attention. And if it says eat with food, then obviously you can't take one of these or another supplement of any kind on an empty stomach, because it's going to make you feel bad. So if it says on the bottles, take with food, don't take them when you're fasting, obviously. I'm also going to remind you about fish. Now, we think that we get the omega-3 from fish oil, which is true, but it's not from the fish, it's from the algae that the fish have eaten. So if you're eating farmed fish only, so you're going to asify your fish, I'd probably put my life savings on it, and that's not much, that the fish have been farmed, and so they've been eating soy and pellets of whatever. It's not algae they're eating. So are you going to get the omega-3 that you would get from a wild caught fish? Absolutely not. Not at all. Is it going to be genetically modified? If it's a salmon, yes, for sure. Will it have lice? Yeah, probably. So farmed fish is one to watch. If you can get your fish wild caught, then you must get it. Likewise with fish oil. Now, I'm going through the process of getting my own fish oil, which it's painstakingly hard to come up with these blends and to get it right, and to get the chemistry right, and to make sure it passes every single milestone that it has to pass. It's very, very difficult. But the only fish oil, just like my supplements, the only fish oil that I will have is from wild caught fish. Why would I not? Why would I bring out an amazing range of products to go and shoot myself in the foot and have fish oil from farmed fish? I just wouldn't do it. So wild Alaskan, or something like that. That's what, if you're taking fish oil, which I definitely advise, omega-3 or cod liver oil, make sure the fish are wild caught. Okay. Or you might as well just eat a steak, but make sure it's organic, grass-fed, grass-finished. You're thinking,